Good morning. Welcome to CATEX-TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. This is a live broadcast from Princeton, New Jersey. Today is Thursday, September 30th, 2010. It's the last day of the third quarter. If you need to reach us during the broadcast, you can phone in toll-free at 1-866-67-CATEX. Overseas, our AOL instant mail address is CATEX-TV. The stock market is down about 50 points right now, despite stories actually running on Google and Bloomberg that future indexes indicate that this is going to be a very good day. Unknown yet. Here's some of the reasons why. The Commerce Department reported this morning in Washington that gross domestic product actually expanded in the April to June quarter at about 1.7%. That's a little bit higher than what the government had estimated a month ago. It's a big decrease, however, from 3.7% that came in the first quarter. The Chicago Regional Purchasing Managers Index increased. Analysts had been expecting a decrease. The U.S. unemployment rate, or loss, I should say, for last week actually indicated that it had fallen 16,000. Analysts had been expecting 460,000 people to file for new claims. However, only 453,000 did. So all of that would signal a net upside, but the market isn't quite responding yet. Well, if you were in Germany, the DAX would be responding because the German government announced this morning that their unemployment rate had dropped to 7.2% during the month of September. The unadjusted jobless rate was down from 7.6% in August. That's a 0.4% drop in just 1 month. Germany's GDP increased at a massive 2.2% in the second quarter over the previous quarter. So Germany is the economic engine that drives Europe is revving up. Well, in the United States, in the northeastern part of the country, New Jersey, where we're speaking to you from today, is inundated with rain. There are flood warnings up for the Delaware River, which separates New Jersey from Pennsylvania. And there's a major drenching storm moving up the Atlantic seaboard. Driving rain has soaked southeastern North Carolina already. 21 inches of rain fell in the town of Wilmington, North Carolina. Further north, parts of eastern Virginia were under flash flood warnings. The National Weather Service has issued a tornado watch for 33 eastern Virginia counties. Washington, D.C. is under a flash flood watch. The rain there caused a major traffic headache this morning for people coming in. And in the Pennsylvania, New Jersey area, 6 inches of rain is possible by the time the storm leaves the area tomorrow. The downpour comes as a low pressure system from the west is mixing with the remnants of Tropical Storm Nicole. Well, finally, we might be getting some resolution here. AIG said this morning it had completed a plan to repay the American taxpayers for bailing it out. Under the plan, the Federal Reserve Bank of New York would be repaid the nearly $20 billion that it's owed, and the U.S. Treasury Department would convert the $49 billion that it's owed into preferred stock. We'll end up holding about 1.66 billion common shares of AIG. That's about 92% of the company. The government will then, over time, sell its stake in the open market. The AIG CEO, Robert Benmosh, said that the plan would allow the company to, quote, remain on track to emerge with one of the largest, most diversified property and casualty companies in the world. The company said that it expected to repay the Federal Reserve Bank of New York and issue the stock to the Treasury before the end of the first quarter next year. Separately, AIG also made some moves. They indicated that they would sell 2 Japanese units, the Star and Edison life insurance companies, to Prudential Financial. Prudential Financial is headquartered in Newark, New Jersey, for $4.8 billion. It's about $4.2 billion in cash and $600 million in debt. Well, the Insurance Insider and the Insurance Insider only is reporting that Dominic Kirby has left his position as CEO of the managing agency for Flagstone Re's Syndicate 1969. Insiders picking this up from a Lloyd's auction disclosure statement. He's going to be replaced at Flagstone Syndicate, which manages 1861 and 1969, by the current MD of the business. We're unable to find his name. The Flagstone website does not break out the names of employees other than the unit leaders. So we do not know this gentleman's name, and we can't find the story anywhere else except the replacement's first name we know is Carl. Sort of a clue. Former Aon Limited Deputy Chairman Jonathan Palmer Brown is getting a new job at JLT. He's going to succeed Andrew Agnew as chairman of JLT's London Market Specialty arm. JLT's also taken this opportunity to reorganize its specialty wholesale and reinsurance operations. The unit's name will change to JLT Specialty Limited from Jardine Lloyd Thompson Limited. Jonathan Palmer Brown will become the unit's new chairman from October 1, tomorrow. Martin Hiller, the CEO of JLT, who had been acting as interim chairman, will continue in his role as chief executive once Palmer Brown takes office. Stock market in New York is down about 58 points right now, and we'll go to a word from our sponsors. Well, last night in a vote of 348 to 79, in one of the last acts before Congress left town for the campaign season for the elections, the House of Representatives voted to declare currency as being eligible for an illegal export status. And this, of course, is aimed at China with their overvalued what they're actually undervalued currency. Chinese foreign minister said that the bill would have a negative effect on both countries if the Senate passed it, if the Senate ever does decide to even vote on it. A group representing American businesses in China has also criticized the bill, saying it could place thousands of American jobs in export-related industries at risk. And what the bill would do would be to allow the U.S. Commerce Department to treat fundamentally undervalued currencies as an illegal export subsidy, so that American companies can request a countervailing duty to offset China's price advantage. The International Monetary Fund estimates that the Chinese yuan is between, listen to this range, is between 5 to 27% undervalued. Asked for his views on this whole thing, Warren Buffett, who happens to be in China right now looking for companies to buy, said the following: "If I were investing in a company with a particularly weak currency that I thought was going to remain weak over a long period of time, I would discourage investment if they were earning money in that currency. So if we were looking at a country with hyperinflation, we would be reluctant to invest in that country. But I don't see that as any problem at all in terms of investing in China." So he's investing in China. Our friend Richard Banks, the managing editor of Insurance Day, had a long article today in their paper. Richard Banks is a noted scholar of Iceland's culture and Icelandic languages, but he also obviously knows a thing or two about the Middle East, Lebanon in particular. Lebanon, Mr. Banks writes, is planning a new regulatory framework to oversee the country's insurance sector. This is according to the Lebanese Minister of Economy and Trade, a gentleman named Mohammed Safadi. The insurance industry in Lebanon is more mature, says Safadi, and developed than in a number of other Middle Eastern countries, but premium income remains low. And the authorities in Lebanon are coming under increasing pressure to put in a more strict system of regulation. Meanwhile, Safadi said that the creation of a Middle Eastern economic free zone offers huge opportunities. Such a zone would have Lebanon joined by Syria, Jordan, and Turkey. It would allow a opening of a commercial market for insurance of up to 120 million people. Safadi was speaking at a conference hosted in Beirut the other day. According to Safadi, we have complete confidence that the modernization of legislation and implementation of laws will provide for protection for the holders of insurance policies. Here's the breakdown right now of the way the business is represented in Lebanon. There is no national health service, so medical expense business, i.e. health insurance, represents about 38% of non-life premium income. Property insurance is about 16%, and car insurance is 48%. We have friends in Lebanon, so we're wishing them well on their revitalization of their regulatory framework. Well, there was another incident in Dagestan. An official in southern Russia indicates that an explosion has wounded 17 policemen in Dagestan. The Interior Ministry said that just this morning a blast tore through a police bus in the eastern town of Kaspisk. None of the officers were killed, but the blast took place just hours after police killed 15 suspected Islamic militants in Dagestan. There's been a big toy recall here in the U.S. Fisher-Price, which is owned by Mattel, is recalling almost 11 million toys after reports of children being cut or choking. This is according to the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission. The recall is the largest for toys since Congress passed a law 2 years ago strengthening the CPSC's powers. Back in June of '09, Mattel and Fisher-Price were fined about $2.3 million for toys violating federal lead paint laws. Today's recall are led by 7 million Fisher-Price tricycles, 2.8 million infant toys, including the baby play zone, crawl, and cruise, as well as 950,000 high chairs. Also 100,000 toy cars with wheels that may detach are being recalled. Fisher-Price said, "We want to reassure parents that our products are overwhelmingly safe. If we see an issue with any product at any point, we take appropriate action." There was a big earthquake earlier today in Indonesia. It may have been really big. The Indonesians are saying that it was a 7.4. The U.S. Geological Survey says 6.6. You can see here that it was a big one. There were a number of other aftershocks immediately. It's not clear if there are any injuries or damage. There was and is a tsunami alert, although we're not getting any other information. And then just about an hour ago, on the most populated island of the Japanese country, Honshu, a 4.9 quake occurred just on the eastern shore there. It's approximately 120 miles northeast of Tokyo. No reports whatsoever of anything as a result of that. Well, in the United States, there's been like an unbelievable spate of stories about these creatures. Let's pull this up. This is a bed bug. Began about 7 or 8 months ago, a couple of isolated cases in New York hotels. Then it spread to other New York hotels, then other hotels throughout the country, then to college dormitories. And now it's a virtual epidemic. You can't pick up a newspaper, you can't read a story, you can't read anything without being assaulted by stories about bed bugs. And frankly, it's all people talk about. I haven't been paying any attention to it at all. My bed is fine. Until this story came up. This came from Denver, Colorado, just this morning. Denver firefighters ran into more than the normal hazards at a house fire